everyone, I like to present our international research synopsis on urban villages. Our topic is architectural perspective of COVID-19 and analysis of post-COVID urbanism, presented by architect Syed, architect Mohd Kashif, Rashad Anwar, Ilma from Jamia Millia Islamia. So first we have abstract. So the COVID-19 has affected the life of an individual from private to public level, whether from an urban area to rural area. Every individual got affected in one way or other. The pandemic not only affect the human anatomy, but also put pressure on economy by imposing lockdown. As we know that architecture and urban planning has direct relation with public health. So the aim of the paper is to study the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on urban area and to highlight the difference post-COVID planning, which includes urban planning, transportation, socio-economic. Next, we have objectives. So the objective of this paper is to elaborate that the difficulty and the problem in the pandemic and how the densely populated areas has been affected throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. The aim of this paper is to evaluate possibilities to survive the pandemic in future for vulnerable people who can't get access to the basic amenities, to highlight major issues that can be learned from post-COVID urban planning. So first we have to understand the COVID-19. Coronavirus disease 2019, that is COVID-19, is a contagious disease caused by acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2. The first known case was identified in Wuhan, China in December 2019. The disease has since spread worldwide, leading to an ongoing pandemic. This is the methodology chart as we follow in the research, and it is based on the three phases. The phase 1 is choosing and defining, the phase 2 is assessing and analyzing, and the phase 3 is communicating. So this is the population density as accelerated of pandemic in urban slums. On the line of the World Health Organization guidelines, the government has suggested maintaining a distance at least 1 meter between from those experiencing even mild symptoms of the virus like cough and cold. However, with a population of nearly 1.4 million, India faces a complete different challenge. One of the main reasons of this is the high population density rate. In states such as Delhi, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, and Kerala, the population density is the double the national average. Increased population density and unhealthy living condition in urban slums can ease the transmission of infections. Therefore, population density is a major factor. So we have identified the two cases. The first case is Butler House, Okhla, Delhi. Butler House is a residential locality in Jamia Nagar area. This area is quite congested and the streets roads are narrow in size. So the possibility of being infected is higher. The number one challenge is density, not just in the streets, but also the housing is structured like this. This makes it very difficult to follow physical distancing mandate. And there is a huge market in Butler House. But at the time of pandemic, the whole market was closed to avoid gathering of people and maintaining social distancing. The second case study is the Dharawai, Mumbai. All over the world, the Dharawai is recognized as one of the most densely populated urban agglomeration. Other than ever increasing population density, the dearth of hygiene and awareness, miniature houses and low income has made living condition in Dharawai even worse. In these conditions, social distancing during the COVID-19 pandemic was very difficult. Over to Rashad.
Now come to the Butler House, Okhla, Delhi. The Butler House is a residential locality in Jamia Nagar area of Okhla in South Delhi. This area is quite congested and street roads are narrow in the size. This makes it very difficult to follow physical distancing mandates during COVID-19. Now come to the planning. Butler House is a densely populated area with mostly 1 BHK and 2 BHK dwelling units. In the most building, the ground floor used as a shops and parking space. This planning create crowd at the street or roads because people are always buying their essential and goods. Please next. Come to the Butler House before COVID-19. Before COVID-19, Butler House goes with its normal activities, such as there is a huge market in Butler House. Due to this, the streets and roads is often crowded with the people. Traffic jam can be seen in the narrow streets or roads at every time. Butler House during COVID-19. In the pandemic time, the whole market was closed to avoid gathering of the people and maintaining social distancing. In the picture, you can see activity mapping of Butler House before COVID-19 and during COVID-19. Please next. Now, how COVID-19 changed the activities and spaces of Butler House. Delhi government declared several areas in Zakir Nagar as containment zone. This news article about the adjacent area sparked the sense of fear among the residents of Jogabai. The first thing is lack of resources, be it be daily needs, items or food supplies. In initial days of the lockdown, transportation of goods was at halt. It resumed within a week. The second thing is mental and psychological challenges. People had fixed routine and life and a lifestyle before the COVID period. Some people find it hard to adopt to the new normal of the staying home 24/7. Please next. Now come to the market space. Most shops closed and restaurants are closed. Only few shops like medical store, grocery store, and general store were open with the following COVID protocol. Now schools and mosque. School used as COVID test camp and temporary hospital for COVID patient, and mosque allow only few people to pray with social distancing premises. Please next. Now streets and roads in Butler House. Mostly narrow streets are available where a healthcare vehicle or ambulance cannot enter it easily. In COVID second wave, we have seen this situation like we have COVID patient and ambulance came at a time, but the vehicle could not go to the take patient hospital for a proper treatment or facility. Please next. Now come to the dwelling units. In the Butler House, most households were single or double room dwellings with a single toilet or washroom. The approaches of the social distancing is not possible in this type of dwelling units. They have shared spaces. We have seen in the second wave, if one person from a house was infected, then the whole family had got infected just because they have shared spaces in their home. And social distancing is not possible in such houses. It is not possible to provide individual isolation spaces to each and everyone in this type of densely populated area. Now, accessibility. We have talked about that the roads and streets are very narrow in Butler House, and due to these narrow roads and streets, ambulance and healthcare services, the service vehicles does not come inside the street. Please next. Now come to the Butler House after COVID-19. After COVID-19, Butler House come back to its normal activities, such as the crowd can be seen at the streets, roads nowadays. Now, key findings. On the land use side, we anticipate seeing the most significant impact to the land zone for retail, commercial, office, as well as warehousing, industrial, as more people work from home and demand for delivery continues to increase. These shifts could influence the footprint of cities as proximity to workplace and good services may no longer be enough to attach people to dense city center. Population movement and transportation infrastructure that increase inter and intra-urban connectivity are considered as key factors contributing to the spread of infectious disease. Now come to the conclusion. We must recognize this opportunity to build back, better, and we are committed to pooling our expertise and experience to support countries in their crisis response measure and effort to achieve the sustainable development goals. We need to develop long-term sustainable strategies to address the challenges facing the health sector. Priorities should be given by architects to addressing and must rethink the future of our urban spaces with respect to pandemic like COVID-19 and tackle the problems we faced during pandemics. Only then we can protect the health, livelihood, food security, and nutrition of all the people. Thank you.